It's my feel-good breakfast show.
So last week we commemorated Obesity Week, and the unfortunate reality here in South Africa, and it's almost inexcusable looking at how much we can do outdoors and how active we truly can be, but South Africa has a terrible obesity record, especially within children. I think we have an obesity count of about 40%, and that can be confirmed, of course, by Andrea du Plessis, our vital expert, who is here to reveal some healthy ways that we can approach what is an epidemic, not just in South Africa, but the world over. Andrea, you know, when we look at South Africa's situation in terms of obesity, why are we here in South Africa, this beautiful outdoor-orientated country, battling so much with obesity?
I think it's lots of factors. Sometimes cultural, the way we treat foods, we indulge in it, we enjoy it. But I think a big focus is on the highly concentrated sugary foods, starchy foods, which we love to eat, but luckily there's lots of emphasis now on trying to cut down on carbs. So we're going to talk about a few tips on how to control your appetite and activity. So it's a combination of exercise and eating right.
And I suppose it's not aided by the fact that we are blasted with marketing. Even the way that shops are laying out their goods, we really are coerced into buying unhealthier options. So it's great that our leading retailers out there are starting to shift as well. We're seeing an organic movement, but we are seeing a much more holistic approach to food. And there is no reason why you can't get the same enjoyment out of food. So let's start with some ways that we can start to curb obesity as a starting point. How do we tackle the issue?
Well, the first point I want to discuss is exercise. There was a study done recently that shows that when you exercise, one of the effects of it is it stimulates a part of your brain that helps you make wise choices. In other words, something that you know is sensible to do. And you know, like talking about the food aisle, you're standing there buying serviettes or whatever, and before you know it, you've purchased a chocolate and you've eaten it.
A packet of soft gums.
You know what? And you're not even hungry, and you get so angry at yourself for doing that. So when this part of your brain is stimulated through exercise, you're less likely to make such unwise choices and have more control over your actions and control your appetite.
Yeah, and you're also making that positive reinforcement, making those little goals that you're achieving physically, they also start to reinforce and see results, and that is a major thing. Now I'm seeing some of the usual, I don't want to say culprits out here, but you know, foods that we do readily associate with a healthier lifestyle. Take us through the meaning behind this little ingredient layout that you've got here.
Yes, these are the top 4 foods that can help you control your appetite. So I often get questions on my Facebook page, and people say that they are so hungry in between meals. They've got their meals sorted out, they know what to eat.
I'm certainly one of those, yeah.
So looking at research, they've shown that eating apples, because it's low glycemic index, really helps to curb sweet cravings.
Wow. And I know that there is a move away from fruit, but I think the danger there is you miss out on so many of the nutrients and the positive spin-offs from fruit that is available in a country where we get fantastic fruit as well.
I do agree with you, like trying to move away from carbs, but the problem is people eventually, like we said, stand in the queue in the shop and buy a packet of gums or something that contains lots of sugar. And the tip always with eating apples is don't wait for the sweet craving to come. Eat it before you know that your body's going to ask for sugar.
Be preemptive. And then we've got our hero food, the almond.
Yes, almonds, they've done lots of research on it, and it actually shows that snacking on small portions of almonds, so like a small handful, really helps to control appetite. It's packed with protein, with minerals, and it really can help you control your appetite.
And it is as someone who's always looking for new ways of getting protein in it, it's a very healthy way to get a little bit of additional protein in there. And I'm looking at an old favorite, the prune.
Yes, prunes are also low glycemic index, so another great snack. And I mean, they're very intensely sweet, but they don't mess with your blood sugar levels, so they don't cause these peaks and dips in your sugar levels that would also spike your appetite later. And the last food here, the yogurt, Greek yogurt. It's packed with protein, lots of nutrients in there, and also known to help control your appetite. So these can be used as snacks, but also incorporated into breakfast, for example.
All right, and also a great way to get you through a busy day where you know your energy is going to be sapped. I love that. Now, you know, there is obviously a massive movement in supplementation towards fat burners, and unfortunately, so many of the supplements on the market, yes, they might help you burn fat, but they are not healthy for you. They have such an adverse effect on your nervous system, and that has been proven now. So I think for me, what I'm looking for is a supplement, something that I can introduce juice, maybe when I don't have the time in our days, which is generally the reality, to take in a meal. What can I take to help me curb my appetite and address that in terms of supplementation?
The Vital Fat Burner is something that I can really recommend that is safe to use, but it's also effective. It contains green tea extract. And if you look at all the research on fat burning properties of natural ingredients, green tea comes out tops. There's also the Garcinia extract, lots of other nutrients, CLA, lecithin, etc. But really a well-balanced formula that's not going to cause heart palpitations.
I was going to say, you're not going to sit there like chewing your tongue off. That's
mood
it's
swings.
vital, yeah.
And you know, like you've got a very active lifestyle, you maintain a healthy body weight, but for somebody who's obese and following the dietary advice, it just helps you to get started.
Yeah.
It's a lot. If you have to lose more than 20 kilograms, it's a big challenge.
It is, yeah.
So sometimes you need a bit of a supplementation help with that.
And you are not alone. There are resources out there. We've all been through it. For some of us, obesity is a real problem, but to take it on board that there are steps that you can take. There are foods that can help you on your way. There are supplements that can help get that process started. But it's time for you to take a really hard, deep, introspective look at yourself and what you want out of life. And you can have so much more out of your experience of life when you are happier, when you are healthier. Andrea, thank you so much for always being the voice of reason. We love you. All right.
Well, it's a pleasure. And remember my vital tip for the day, exercise regularly. It helps with fat burning and it even helps to control appetite.
I love it. And stress as well. I love it. Thank you so much. Dig in.
Make abuse a thing of the past. Nominate an organization that fights abuse so they can win 35,000 Rand from the Vital Awards.